So one thing you learn when you are in Murphy for even a little bit of time, that it is very much a sought after destination, whether you're here simply to visit or what you will find is so many people choose to move here to live. And that is certainly the case with our next guest on the show today, James Reaux, who is the lucky owner of Murphy's Chophouse, one of the destinations once you've chosen to come to Murphy to enjoy some fantastic food. So thanks for welcoming us in.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So we knew how lucky we were to get to come and talk to you today, because if you talk about places to eat in Murphy, it always leads to, are you going to go to the Chophouse?
Oh, that's nice to hear.
We kind of came in the back way, so we got to pass your patio before we parked the car. What a beautiful spot that is.
It is beautiful. We're lucky to have it out there.
I love that when you're in Murphy and you get to talk to the business owners, I think you kind of get to feel the history of the town, sort of, because it seems like a lot of the buildings today once had a different purpose. That is the truth for your restaurant. This was once a gas station?
It was a gas station, yeah. And I knew the owner and identified the space. I wanted to have a restaurant here in Murphy. I saw the potential, basically, and decided to buy it, and of course had to build that out.
Right.
Started with about 1,000 square feet of under airspace and turned it into about 4,000 square feet of restaurant space, not counting the patio. So
it's very comfortable when you're here, because as all restaurant dining really should be, you feel close to the other people eating, so you can feel that bustle and the fun of it, but you've got enough space to enjoy your own private conversation too.
I tried to make it intimate. You know, in a casual way.
Yeah.
So, you know, some of the features here are a little bit softer and make it more comfortable to sit in. A lot of soft textures, but then, you know, we want to feed people too. You know, we don't want to make it to where it's a limited capacity. So we're able to do a fair amount of people volume-wise and still maintain that intimacy.
So here's what's fun, at least for me. So I sat down and James and I began talking, and the truth is I didn't know anything about you. Asked you about your menu, and you try to keep it very varied so that people can come here for fine dining, but kids can be comfortable here as well.
Lunch, dinner, casual food.
And then a few things begin to happen, James. You begin to say some things like, well, you know, I worked for a long time and cooked for a long time in various countries in Europe, and you begin to rattle off. You went to school in Switzerland. Things begin to rattle off. You have cooked for the royals at Buckingham Palace.
I have, yeah.
Many a president has enjoyed your food.
Many a president, yes.
How did those stories come to be? How did those invitations come your way?
I had great marketing people, basically. I mean, that's it. You know, I mean, I thought the cooking was good, but I had just good people above me who were marketing the program and, you know, challenged me to do things that were unique and fun, and I always accepted the challenge heartily, and I was able to put myself in front of those kind of guests.
But I love what you said after, you know, he humbly would admit, and you can see when you come in, you have this kind of history wall of the different people you had a chance to prepare foods for, but you said the only judge for you is how good the meal is today.
Exactly, that's true. I don't rest on my laurels. I think that's foolish. Yeah. You know, you basically, every day we approach the restaurant like it's a new day. You know, and we have creative specials. We come together and try to develop things that are fun and tasty for the guests, try to be creative and different every day, while we maintain the quality and consistency of our regular menu at the same time. So
there's this phrase that gets thrown around in all parts of culture now, the hyper-local. Everybody wants to be hyper-local. So when they come to Murphy's Chophouse, is your menu pretty local? Do you enjoy using like local produce when it's in season?
Local produce. You know, we have foragers, we have farms that support us, we have fisheries that support us here. Our trout is all local from Andrews, North Carolina, so we try to do as much as we can here with the local products.
Are you known for anything? Like, in your opinion, is there a standout item on the menu?
We have great steak. I mean, it's not local, but we have great steaks. I mean, this is ultimately, a Chophouse is a steakhouse that features great seafood and, like you say, lighter fare, but really our steaks are all hand cut here. We use a very high quality beef, you know, standard with our specifications, and they're all cut here. In fact, I just cut all the steaks for the day today. just now.
That's true. When we got here, he was not able to greet us at the door, and Mark said, he's in the kitchen working.
That's right. That's
your hands are on all of it.
That's what I do every day.
Yeah.
Whether it be this restaurant or one of my others, I spend my time in the restaurants.
I'm hoping that a lot of people from the Chattanooga area, North Georgia area, have fallen in love with Murphy the way we have, and they're going to want to come up here and spend some time.
It's a great community. It's a wonderful place. Not only here, but the whole town kind of rallies around each other. It's a great sense.
You know, I've been here often enough now that you can't fool a person repeatedly. It's not a joke. Everybody here is happy. This is a happy town.
You're lucky to catch all that. I agree with you. I agree. It's a happy place. It's a casual place to live. We don't have traffic. The crime is minimal. And so when you start packing that into a less stressful workday or even lifestyle, it just becomes a happier place.
Right. So the only thing that might make you unhappy is if you come up here and then you don't have a chance to come and eat at Murphy's Chophouse. If they're going to come for dinner, you recommend a reservation?
We recommend reservations for dinner.
Okay.
Lunch, not so much. We're open for lunch and dinner every day. We do a great Sunday brunch here, so the brunch menu features a lot of the typical brunch items, but some creative things as well.
Yeah.
But for dinner, I highly recommend reservations. And for the patio especially. We have live entertainment on our patio 3 nights a week. It'll soon be 5 days a week.
Yeah.
From early in the evening to later in the evening. Our patio bar becomes really popular. We're dog friendly, and so bring your pet, let it sit on the dog, out there with you. We feed the animals, we water the animals, so we just want it to be a welcome place for everybody.
Before I let you run, when you've been cooking for the presidents, did they have an opportunity to make a request of what they wanted you to prepare?
They have unique. You would think that they would have specific things like Bill Clinton really just liked chips and salsa with great guacamole. That's the truth. I cooked for Ronald Reagan for a number of years. Later in his life, and when I was working in Los Angeles, and I basically prepared lunch for him for over a year and a half, most days. So I would personally deliver that to his desk, and he would sit and have his lunch while I sat with him, and we actually became a pretty intimate relationship back then.
Okay, there's a phrase in television called burying the lead. Don't bury the lead.
Okay.
You just buried the lead as we're wrapping up.
That's just one side story.
For a year and a half, you had lunch with Ronald Reagan.
Well, it was not every day, but at least dozens of times, sure.
What did he like?
Egg salad sandwich. How simple is that, right?
Well, I've heard it said about a lot of chefs that when you get home at night, you want to grab peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, not so much. Not so much.
Well, thank you for letting us come bend your ear.
Nice to meet you.
I wish we had more time because I have a feeling I could find out a lot more stories about some very famous people. Deal.
Next time. Okay.
Deal. We'll have lunch on the patio.
Sounds good.
You come and enjoy Murphy's Chophouse. Make sure you take in the wall of famous people that he has cooked for, and just remember, in his view, on the day you're here, you're the most important one. Thank you.
Pleasure.